What makes the most sense, because it's much easier for Keria to obviously farm Spell Thief's Edge if that's the support item he's going to choose here. Just in general, his gold item where he gets damage from his poke, much easier to pull that off than Caitlyn. So Caitlyn not going to be able to scale as well off of the support item and having less gold. Varus also has the utility of his ultimate, although they swapped the last second.
Okay, that's interesting. I was wondering how this was going to go.
Keria might be playing AD carry.
Oh my.
Think about that. Keria could be playing AD carry this game.
That'd be very cool. Very strange, but very cool. All right, so it has been, as you can hear. Let's see whether they're going to be rewarded once again.
It is support Caitlyn, was the question we still had.
Yep.
Seemed likely, but you never know.
You don't. You definitely don't.
You don't know till you see that item bot.
When it's Keria, you never do. We'll see whether he takes Snap Trap first. That would be funny. He's not going to. And we'll also see how he's going to play this lane out. Because could be a few ways. Of course, it's pretty obvious that he'll be heading in a more lethality direction. Items are cheaper. It's generally the way that you are going to go there. But the main task for this Caitlyn is to
push the waves and hit people with autos.
Yes, hit people with autos in their face as much as you can. This ward doing a lot of good work, as Keria is going to see it, and they're going to share some gold. And yeah, this is
So Hail of Blades coming up here, obviously going to give her some extra power with those trades, and that's what you want if you're playing support Caitlyn, which is not, I mean, don't try this at home, kids, please. But if you are going to play this, that's what you want to get that extra damage through these autos. It's exactly what I'm talking about. And in the
barriered for the trade.
Yeah, and he's still
absolutely fantastic in his position. Fantastic stuff. Zeus, oh my goodness, if that empowered Shock Blast had landed, Dudu's dead.
Yeah. Luckily, Dudu doesn't have to flash, but he's still in a really rough spot. His owner's going to come up here and try to set up for something against this early Maokai. Might just hard force the dive.
Well, let's see. There's the flash. Dudu is very, very dead, but can he get something back? The answer's yes, and that's an execution. All right, of course it is. Sure. Okay. What?
Well, he can teleport right back in here. Zeus, and he needs to, because otherwise he's going to be losing a ton of farm, but Zeus could just kite this out, back up casually here. And
looked a bit weird, right? Because I think he could have just Arctic Assaulted to pick that one up. But he did it so that even if there was a slice or a dice available from Dudu, he was going to hit him regardless.
Yep.
Very, very cute. As Gumiushi is just trying to do what he can here. Does have to flash away, though. Keria also misses the Peacemaker. But you can see the looming Piggy. Owner making his way in. And Winter's Wrath's going to come down. And despite the fact that a few things worked out, I think this still is going to go in the wrong direction. The Permafrost comes in. Owner survives. Keria also lives. Moham's dead, and the Piggy goes down. But it doesn't matter. Look at all these minions.
Look at all the minions that they are not going to get. It is a repeat here going into this second game of the last one. Just a little bit different circumstances here. It's not the full dive with Faker coming down on set. Just
dead Maokai. Look at all of this gold.
Now he's going to be picking up a fair amount of it. As pre-6.
Yeah, Bulldog taking a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, Bulldog will just win because their champs did stuff that were better than the opposing champs in the positions that they put themselves in.
Yeah, the difference in this game is that T1 can do those things if they play like T1.
Yeah.
Guess what? They're T1.
Yeah, and they probably will be T1 as Youngjae has to flash. Permafrost almost stacked up there as Twisted Advance to get on in. Youngjae is going to see what he can do. That's the wrong turret. He's still dead. And that's going to be Zeus picking up that kill. But Bulldog now to come on forward will be able to pick it up. Perfect execution is exactly that. And the young player doing fantastic work already.
Now, this was a bit of an overextension here for T1, and Zeus is just so squishy. You know, at this stage of the game, Dudu has level 6, so gets on top of him there, and you're playing with a Maokai could root. So it's really easy for that gap to be closed for Dudu there. This does, of course, allow Faker to get some extra push in mid. Looks like he might pick up a plate here just barely before he is forced back by Bulldog. But 2 kills to the Akali this early on in the game is amazing for Kwangdong Freeks.
It is. Almost all the plates are gone, which is a worry. Nature's Grasp going to come forward as Carrier is going to sacrifice himself for the good of the colony. You love to see it. And that is going to make sure that at least Gumayusi survives.
Giving the kill over to Youngjae here is an interesting choice. Perhaps not a...
Bottom lane's still a disaster, but this was pretty cool.
Youngjae smashes him towards this Renekton who has ult available, and Zeus is just so squishy.
Yeah, well, Zeus might also be dead again. He is. Taeyun is going to go down as well. He's not the main character of this story. T1 are just going to walk up the bottom lane.
Put plates on those turrets.
Yeah.
They're trying to get an inner sub 10.
It's a lot of money.
This is just Kwangdong giving up bottom.
Yeah, Faker's going to come on over. The backflip does come forward. Emperor's Divide avoided. Very nice. Ace in the hole comes in, and Bulldog has to flash. Oh my goodness. That arrow did a lot of work.
So this is now a base race in League of Legends?
At 9.5 minutes?
On the Zeri, 3 assists now she has.
Yeah, Zeus might be in trouble again as Dudu level up. And Zeus is running the wrong direction. That's his strategy. He can boop him back, so I don't think that Zeus is going to die here or anything like that. And Ona is going to turn up as well.
One thing I want to say is that Kwangdong have really just committed to our bot lane doesn't exist. Let's make sure that top lane doesn't exist. And it might have been something that CV Max said to them during the break after that last game. But next time this happens, you collapse on the cannon, you kill him, you actually make sure that he can't play the game. You change their weak side to be an extreme weak side. But now the lane swap comes through.
Yeah.
And this is where you have to actually commit heavier. Youngjae has his ultimate here, but he's not where he needs to be to stop this from going down. So this is just going to go down for free, and so much money is being given over.
Well, Taeyun's still going to dive on in. There's the final chapter as Carrier with the barrier is going to come in. Taeyun's dead. The Renekton also died somewhere on the map. Not entirely sure how that one happened. Ace in the hole flying towards Bulldog as Faker, still at full health, was making his way up. I liked the idea from KWANGDONG FREECS. It did not work.
Yeah, I mean, the aggressive wall ride in from Taeyun there, I think really speaks volumes to the player's mentality right now, is hoping that you can pop off and carry, hit a big ult, and grab like 3 kills at the same range. So they're not too worried about the retreat here.
Oh dear. Ace in the hole is going to come in, but it's going to be interrupted. Carrier trying to flash out of this one, does not work. Puts down the snap trap. It's actually kind of cute how that one went down as Bulldog looks for the backflip, does not get it, and also Gumayusi makes it under the turret, so he'll be fine. So 0 and 2 for Carrier. A little bit unfortunate on the Caitlyn this time around for the support Caitlyn debut. It will be a Chemtech Soul, so not a great one, not a favorite.
Not amazing, especially not for T1's comp, because they don't want any of these champions to be half health.
Well, Gumayusi just going to have to try and get himself out of this one. Try and hope and pray.
There's the money.
And there it is. Taeyun's going to pick that one up.
Finally, he gets his shutdown.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
A lot of money.
Long time coming.
What was that, like 650? Or
I think it was 650, yeah.
It's pretty nice.
It's a lot of money for this Zeri, who needs to back more respectfully, but will.
Ow.
And the Maokai's up there, very good, punishing the greed once again for T1, but they're still trading up. You know, that's the thing. You get these punishes off not every time, but sometimes. But they're still killing the turrets. They're still stacking up that gold. And when we get to team fights later,
Ace in the hole, going to be blocked by Bulldog.
Teammates often, but if you look at that alone, it looks like, oh man, this Renekton must be really, you know, in a good spot in this game. Not really, actually, comparatively, because Zeus has picked up so much of that plate and turret gold on the map that he has so much money sitting on 2 items. The Renekton is the only real frontline for the Zeri in this comp. Yeah, the Maokai kind of can be, but how do you front to back here against all this poke? You're going to have to be confident. You're going to have to be decisive. You have to kill 2 80 carries, basically, but one main threat.
Yeah.
And the Zeri, if the fight goes very long, can do it. But the game also has to go very long. There's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of conditions here.
And you also have to have a health bar. And Gumayushi's doing a great job of hitting these cues and making sure that he... Okay. Ona just throwing that one willy-nilly. It's absolutely fine. Chains of Corruption.
Bullet hell!
A lot of dashes coming on in there as the Rift Herald going to largely be ignored. Is Ona in a bit of trouble? There is the Crocodile coming forward. Faker trying to get rid of Bulldog, but it doesn't quite work out. Now Bulldog on the run, trying to get out. Faker sets up the Sand Soldier, and is going to be able to lock that one down. So mid lane and traded for the jungle, as Youngjae could be going down here as well. But the net not going to connect. Drake still on the hunt though.
Yeah, Drake's up. T1 could try to kite back and take it here, but they want more. They want to maximize the value of this trade. And with no Akali threat, they're going to push this down until the wave crashes.
All right, well, Prowler's Claw Dudu diving on top of Zeus. He does slice and dice and get himself out, but that was dicey, to say the least.
He will not be having that red buff. No, that will not belong to him. As T1, it's sole point for a Drake that we've often called irrelevant, but for this comp where T1 are the ones who are taking half the health bars away all the time.
Kwangdong Freaks have to trek through in order to make it to the purple worm.
No TP wards, nothing, no options here. They have to kind of siege their way through the jungle. There's a Maokai ult.
Yeah, Nature's Grasp to come in. That's a brilliant Glacial Prison to make sure that the Maokai can't get anything done. But can someone get out of here is the question. As Emperor's Divide gets rid of Bulldog, and Faker just sweeps him up on his way out. It's a 1-for-1 in the end. Owner might fall down, but honestly, he's done his job. Fantastically well done. Picks the right angle in order to escape as well. And T1, they just lose Gumayushi. They trade it for Bulldog and a Baron, and you take that every day of the week. And now they're looking for even more.
He's going to push mid, try to get a second inhibitor here.
Oh, Faker is just massive, by the way.
Shadow
Luden's
Flame.
build with Shadow Flame just complete. Has an unbroken stopwatch as well for even more safety.
And he set up this Sundis turret, which feels just unnecessary at this point, but...
Any super creeping droids as they head towards the Nexus turrets, Wolf?
Gonna be a second inhib. At bare minimum, as Guma's respawned and headed down mid, and they can just go back 30 seconds until the Drake spawns, and that will be the Elder spawner, plus the Soul, which, again, it's helpful, but not really. If this was an Infernal Soul, you would feel so bad right now as Kwangdong Freeks. You still feel really bad. So this ends up being the pick onto Guma, but Faker has just had Bulldog's number all game long.
His Azir is pretty good. It's just pretty good. And he'll pick up yet another kill. Gumayushi now getting the transform on his Miramana. As T1 just look to secure this soul. We'll see whether they do get it. T1 and Zeus and Gumayushi chilling here in this mid lane. Nature's Grasp once again as Faker shifts the sands to get out. Owner is going to break up the brambles as Youngjae gets into the backline carrier, trying to keep himself alive as the Zeri is starting to have a moment, but it stops immediately. Youngjae also going to try and twist and advance his way around this one. Bulldog flashing after getting that shuriken onto Faker. Finally some revenge, but the game, I think, is just done. Dudu and Moham, they are left alive, but these Nexus turrets are not going to be so lucky. Look at a Jace just mow them down.
What a series we witnessed tonight, Atlas.
we definitely witnessed a series. Goodbye, Moham. You will be remembered as Dudu. I don't even think he wants to. Gumayushi's there, but he just can't get access. Hail Arrows comes down and Gumayushi's dead, and Owner is just going to get out his flail